Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about Stranger Things 5 Volume 2. So if you are not caught up with all of Stranger Things 5 that has been released so far, you should definitely just put this video in your watch later, that way you can come back to it after you have watched all of the episodes, because I am going to probably be talking about some spoilers for Stranger Things 5 in here. So first, what I want to talk about would be a couple things that I kind of expected to get in these episodes that we didn't get. So, the first of those would be that I really thought that we would end up losing a major character in episode 7, or any of them to be fair, but we didn't get that. And I'm glad that we didn't, obviously. I don't really want to see any of these major characters pass or anything like that, but I really did think that we would end up getting that. So, who knows what's going to happen in this finale? I doubt that we're going to have it be where all of them remain safe throughout this, but I guess we will see. So, the other thing that I was really thinking we would get in here would be that 11 would get taken by the military. And obviously, that doesn't happen either. It just felt like they were getting closer and closer to her throughout this and stuff. So I really did think that that was going to be the case in here, but we didn't have that. And again, I'm glad it didn't happen, but who knows after the end of episode 7 what's going to happen in that finale. And if anything like that were to happen, I definitely feel like it'll be in the early part of the finale. So now I just want to start talking about a few things that I think are kind of creepy that we got in here. So the first thing would be where Holly gets to come back to Henry's house after she gets captured by him again, and she has to go up against all of her classmates. I thought that was definitely very creepy. The classmates in a scene that was a little bit before that, they were all talking about the light, and they were just kind of all chanting the same thing almost, and it was just super creepy to see all of that. It definitely is like Cult of Vecna kind of vibes. It reminds me of maybe like Village of the Damned or Children of the Corn. Super creepy. Just seeing all of them band together on Henry's side. Granted, it's because they have been really brainwashed by him and stuff, but hopefully, at some point, maybe they will actually see the light and not be swayed by him anymore. But I definitely was scared for Holly in that moment. It was just, hard to see her in that position with no one on her side. And I don't blame Derek, because obviously his family had been threatened and stuff, but it is hard to see her have to stand alone on all of that. I also thought that when we finally did get to see what Henry's memory was as far as the cave goes, that was pretty creepy as well. I'm really hoping in this finale we get more explanation as far as that goes, because I just want to know from Henry's perspective what that was exactly. Was that, the thing that actually pushed him to be a villain, or did it have nothing to do with that? I want to know. So hopefully that's something that we do get answers to in this finale. So moving on to just things that I liked in general in here. First and foremost, I liked all of the world building kind of stuff that we get, specifically from Dustin when he finds Brenner's journals and stuff. I thought that learning that the Upside Down is actually a wormhole and really just a bridge between the real world as well as the abyss. That was just really interesting, and it does explain a lot as far as the fact that they couldn't find Henry for so long, so it does make sense that he was in a totally different place than the Upside Down that whole time. I also just liked the exotic matter stuff. I thought it just looked amazing as well, so that was really cool. Another thing that I thought was really cool to look at was the scene where Will was trying to tap into the hive mind again by using that Demogorgon. And all of that, like, black wispy stuff that they had on the radio tower, that just totally made me think of Supernatural. I can't remember, honestly, if they continued that throughout the seasons of Supernatural, but I know in the early ones at least, anytime that they would exorcise a demon, it would be stuff that looked like that would come out of the vessels at that point. So I thought that was really cool. I also really liked that Will finally did come out to everyone. I've been seeing a lot of people kind of memeing that whole situation, and I didn't take it in any type of way like that, but um, I think it was definitely something that was very necessary for him to do. He was just struggling so much with himself. And I think that the fact that he was able to come out to everyone and that he was so well received when he did do that, it's going to really help him be able to go along with Eleven and Kali and take down Vecna. He's not going to have anything that's holding him back at that point. So I'm glad that he did that and that is all resolved. So some other stuff that I really liked here, I guess, would just be the new additions that we have gotten to our main group. That's something that we've gotten throughout the different seasons of this show. There's always a new addition to their group in the different seasons, and this one we have gotten some really good ones for. So the first one that I want to talk about would be Mr. Clark. I was super excited that he was going to be a bigger part in this one because he has just been a staple throughout the course of this show. He is always helpful to the different boys and stuff, but he's also been helpful to other characters as well, such as Joyce when she was having the issues with the magnets falling off everything. And he explained all of that to her very well. So he's always just been helpful to the cast. And I think that it's really awesome that he's going to be in here as well. And just the fact that he is in the field of science and he's going to finally be privy to all this information and see all these amazing things that the rest of the group has been seeing all this time. It's going to be so great for him. It's probably pretty life changing, I would think, as well. And also good for him for pulling that librarian as well. I thought that was good. So the next one that I wanted to talk about would be Vicky. I was happy that she got to be a part of the group as well. I think that she is just a really sweet character, and it's going to be a lot more helpful for Robin, the fact that she is going to be aware of all this stuff now, because Robin has had to, ditch her and not go on dates with her, call everything off. That way she can continue to try to save the world, but she couldn't really tell Vicky about any of that up until this point. So now she won't have to lie about anything, and Vicky's probably just going to be here for it anyway. So I think that that'll be, really helpful. And then another one that is sort of a part of the group, and I think that she would be more fully if she wasn't having to be in the hospital still, and that would be Karen Wheeler. So she has, like I said, been in the hospital and everything, but she heard that message that Robin was leaving for Lucas, and she decided to try to act, and she was able to save Lucas, Robin, Vicky, and Max, all from the Demodogs. And that was just a really cool moment. And I don't know what we're going to get of her in that season finale, but hopefully just, if nothing else, that her and Mike's dad are okay. So the other one that I want to talk about that is a new addition to the group would be Derek. So he is definitely someone that I did not expect to like right in the beginning of the show, or like this season anyway, because he definitely lived up to his original nickname, especially in the beginning there. But he has just, I think, won everyone's hearts, it seems like. I see so much about him online. He is just instantly quotable. Definitely some of the best quotes in the show are coming from him. They're just hilarious. He is, just absolutely a fan favorite. And I know that he is obviously more on Henry's side right now, but like I said earlier, that's really only because of the fact that his family has been in danger. Well, they would be if he doesn't comply with Henry. So I do think that if things pan out, he would definitely switch back over to the good side. However, I am very much concerned for Derek. So they have definitely done something in Stranger Things where they have introduced a character that is exclusive to each of the seasons, and they end up being a fan favorite, and then they end up getting killed off. We saw that in season 1 with Barb, season 2 with Bob, season 3 with Alexei, and season 4 with Eddie. And honestly, the only person that fits that bill in season 5 is Derek. So I am very concerned for him, not just because he's a little kid, but just because, yeah, he really does fit that bill. And it just seems like if they're going to do that, the same kind of thing that they have for all 4 of the other seasons, it's going to be Derek. And I hope that it's not. You know, there's the thought that they probably will end up killing some major characters, so maybe they won't kill someone that they just put into this season. However, we still had Billy in season 3 and Alexei in season 3, so I don't know if we can really use that as a reason that they might not take out Derek in this one. But hopefully they don't, because I think that he's a really good little character. So some other things that I am concerned with going forward would be everything that we got in Jonathan and Nancy's unproposal scene, and one that was kind of taking place around the same time with some other characters. So in that scene, we definitely were getting some of the answers that I was wondering about when I filmed my video for the first part of this season. And I kind of had thought that it seemed like maybe Nancy would not end up with either of the guys, whether that be Jonathan or Steve. And that is obviously the route that they seem to be choosing to go at this point, because they did break up, her and Jonathan, in that episode. And it's also revealed from Nancy herself that she does not really feel that way towards Steve. It was never really like that, and they're very different people from each other. And then we had also gotten a scene between Steve and Dustin around that same time where Steve said that really Nancy was just a friend and stuff. So it does make me nervous for both Jonathan and Steve, because now we know that neither of them really need to survive to be with her. That was something that I had been wondering about, but honestly, I think Jonathan will be fine, but I really just do not see Steve making it out of this show, because he has just had way too good of an arc, and I think that it would be a super impactful death in the show if he did go. Not that I want him to. I absolutely do not want him to go. He's like the last person I want to see gone in this one. But I just think that he would be the obvious choice to take out of here. And it also makes me worry for Dustin, because number one, he has been just a shell of himself ever since Eddie died. And that is a concern in itself. It just seems like he might want to go the same route as Eddie and be a hero. And then the second thing would be the fact that he is so linked to Steve. So it does feel like everything that they're saying with "if you die, I die" is kind of like foreshadowing. And I'm concerned for both of them in here because of all that. I am also concerned about the conversation that we had gotten between Eleven and Kali, and I just don't trust Kali at all. I mean, I don't think that what she is saying is wrong by any means. Honestly, it probably is the correct thing for the two of them to take themselves out, along with, the upside down and everything. That way there never could be any more experiments, since ideally they're also taking Vecna down, because none of the three of them could really live through that, because they could just try to do the experiments again. Well, Kali could probably live, since it's not really working with her anyway, but the other two would have to go as well. I don't want that to be the case, but I feel like it probably will be. I just think that Eleven more than likely will end up sacrificing herself for everyone else. It just feels like that was what this was going to lead up to, this show, I mean. So that wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. Hopefully not. I mean, I'd love to see her, get to be off with Mike and the rest of them, hopefully far away from Hawkins and stuff. But I don't know if that'll be the case. But on the flip side of that, I really feel like there's a good chance they're going to want to keep as many important characters alive as possible in this. Because, yes, this is the end of Stranger Things right now, but I think that it is only a matter of time before we would get more Stranger Things. And yeah, we might get spin offs and stuff, but I think that we will get more of actual Stranger Things in the coming years. And I think that it might take a while. Maybe it'll be 20 years or something like that. But just with the way that we are getting so many legacy sequels in movies and stuff right now of all these important properties from years ago, it just seems like all the nostalgia factor from that, people are going to have that for Stranger Things as well. And to make that as big of an event as it could be, they're going to want to keep a lot of the people alive. So that does make me think that maybe some of the people that I would have thought would go might not, because I'm sure that they are going to have that kind of plan eventually. And no matter how old I am, I'm going to be watching it when it comes out. That's for sure. But honestly, I want to see, other than what I had said earlier about wanting to see what happened with Henry and that memory, some other stuff I want to see in this finale would be a moment for Robin. I don't really see her coming out to the group like Will did. That just does not seem like it'd be her style. If anything, I could see her just being like, "Oh, Vicky's my girlfriend," and just having it be as simple as that. Like, very matter of fact, that obviously they're together and, they'll react how they want to react to that. And I'm sure everybody's going to be very positive about that as well. But that is something I do want to see, is just her be able to be fully honest with them just the same way that Will has gotten to do that. And then, honestly, other than that, I just really want to see a good conclusion to this story. I want to see them land the plane, and I think that they will. I have full faith in them. I think that this season has been amazing, and I really think that most of the seasons have been amazing as well. So I do have full faith that it's going to end very well on New Year's when we get that. So let me know down in the comments what you have thought of Stranger Things 5 so far. Are you excited for the finale? Are you a little bit worried about it? Let's have a discussion down there. And leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet for more horror content. I do post 2 new videos each week. You can follow me on Instagram for updates on my channel, as well as additional horror content. You can also follow me on Letterboxd to see what I have been watching lately and my brief thoughts on any of those films. If you want either of those, they are linked in my channel description for easy access for you guys. And going forward, I am planning to do a video on the finale, hopefully on New Year's Day. It just depends on how soon I can, gather my thoughts on it and get a video done and uploaded for you. But if not, it would probably be the day after that. And if I have time, I was thinking about doing just some random video in between there. I do have quite a few different things planned for January as well. But if you do have any ideas for videos, you can always leave those in the comments of any of my videos, or you can DM me on Instagram and let me know any of that as well. Genuinely, I love talking to you guys, whether it be in comments or on Instagram in my DMs and stuff, because there are people that I talk back and forth with on there. I just think it's so much fun. I love creating those bonds with you guys. So anytime you guys want to reach out, please do so. And I want to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting me so far on this channel. It means the world to me. My name is Devin. This is Carpenter Hill. Thanks for watching.